Hey, this is going to be really quick. I just want to show you real fast what's going on with the geospace magnetosphere cut planes models that's gone crazy. Look at this. This is supposed to be a 3-hour span of time showing Earth is the little, hey Patricia, that Earth is the little dot in the center, half white, half black, day side, night side, and then the shields. Well, just check this out. Look at how crazy. That's it. That's 3 hours. Look how fast the slider is going. Look at that zoom. It's gone crazy. I know, look at that. And there's Earth right there, the half black, the half white, day side, night side, and there's the shields, you know, that arch. But it is zooming through this in about 2 seconds. And so I don't know what's happened to this model. I don't know. I don't know if it's gone crazy with the government shutdown or what. In the United States, the government is shut down right now because they can't decide what to do with themselves, evidently, in the Capitol. Look at that. Now that is velocity. Okay, now let's take a look at density. Look at that. It's getting faster and faster. It's gone crazy. But you can see the density, and the dark blue is the most intense. When it looks like a funnel effect, that is a whole lot of density. This model has gone crazy. Look at that. Red is the most intense, and the pressure is crazy there, complete with the fiery phoenix look, but that's 3 hours. Is that not nuts? I've reset it, I've redone it, and it's just getting faster and faster. At least when I began, it took about 3 times longer than this, but now this is like, what, a second and a half? 1/1000. Maybe not even that much. Look how crazy. Wow. Well, y'all, I just wanted to come on and show you. And while we're here, I'll just show you real fast that nothing significant is going on with Kumiana, Schumann resonance. You can see we have no real spiking happening here. This one has quite a lot happening, but nothing outstanding, though this is very active. Once again, it's like things just don't really add up sometimes. And here we have the Russian Schumann resonance. We got a notification the Karuna magnetometer is at a K5. Okay, this was incredible, this huge whiteout section, and it covered a whole lot of frequencies, and we're past that now, but we still have very clearly defined multiple horizontal levels of the Schumann resonance showing up, and it's stretching a long way. Here are the hertz over here, and it's stretching pretty much from 0 all the way up to, well, 40 if you take that one spike there. Okay, moving fast, moving fast. No black spikes, nothing like that. Okay, let me go and find something else to show you real quick. We'll look at space weather. And These are the current warnings and alerts. I'll just read it to you. There's slight possibility for aurora to appear at the following high latitude regions in the near future. Gilliam, MB. Solar wind speed is currently moderately high, 595.5 kilometers per second, which is a lot slower than it was earlier. It was 800 and something earlier. The biggest solar flare was a C5.5, so nothing to get excited about. And let's look up here real quick. Let me go back and let's take a look at the aurora page. Very interesting. Look at this. The charts are kind of weirding out here. Maybe something is going on with NASA and NOAA. Look, it's blank over here. And then we just have this picking up over on the right side. So something's going wrong. Something's gotten wacky. The interplanetary magnetic field is elevated. Density is spiking, but it's still in the green. Solar wind is a little high, so you see the yellow. And the KP is only 3. And we are in BC South. So whatever's happening, you'll probably be able to feel it pretty good because of the polarities at play. Here's our moon phase. There is one of the magnetometers, the Kiruna, Sweden magnetometer. And here we see the disturbance storm time index is showing that we are in a moderate storm. Hemispheric power is not outstanding, and the aurora is not very outstanding right now either. The coronal hole has moved more over to the right. I don't know what that is doing. That's that new one they have, and I can't quite figure out how to read it. Notice we probably during part of the blasting today, maybe even solar wind from a coronal hole or from one of the many solar flares we have, it caused the protons to spike up. That's the way we get a radiation storm, but it has to get all the way up to the yellow section there to have an S1 radiation storm. But it went up, but it has gone back down, thank goodness. So we had a proton radiation spike. And that's basically all I really think we need to look at. And the main thing I wanted you to see was that crazy way. It's still doing it. I'm going to refresh the page, see if there's any change. Wow. Super fast. I think it's getting faster and faster. That may be it. It may be that this thing is shutting down. Look, we barely see anything now from the previous image, and then it goes all to that yellow. And that's supposed to be 3 hours. I don't believe it is. Right up here, you can see the time. Wow, it's just skipping like crazy. So we see 3 UTC, and then we see it showing 0, 2, I can't even, 23. I have no idea what it's doing. But if this means we're having a time anomaly, we're having a crazy one. I hope that's not what it means. Now this is density, and we've lost that funnel thing. It's almost totally gone. This is crazy. It's just flying through here. And here we just get a flash of the phoenix bird on the pressure. The most intense is red. And it's crazy. Look at the numbers, the time. It's in UTC, so it goes from 3 UTC to 23 to 0. or it's going from 23 to 0 to 3. I can't tell. It's too fast. Nutty. Really, really nutty. I hope this doesn't mean that all our charts and everything are going to go wacko. I hope we're not going to lose all our wonderful tools during this time. But if we do, we'll still meet. We'll still be together. We'll still hang out with each other and know that we're not alone as we're feeling whatever we're feeling and going through whatever we're going through. And it's all going to be okay, beloved. Oh, what is this? Kathy, thank you. Kathy sent me 100 stars. Thank you. That equals like $1. So every star is like a penny or 1 cent. For those of you who are not familiar with it, thank you, Kathy. I feel the love. And looking through real quick. I don't want to miss anyone. Hold on just a minute. Huh. Interesting. I'm going to have to check out what you all are talking about. The energies are intense. Any way you look at it. They are intense. But don't be afraid. Don't be intimidated. On the contrary, this is a good time to remember who you are. And if you believe you were sent here to do something special, if you believe you're a star seed or a light worker or an intercessor, or if you carry certain gifts, the gifts are for humankind. And just remember who you are. And one thing, I'll just share this really quick. This hit me hard the other day. I'd totally forgotten about this. In this world, we are playing parts and roles, whether we realize it or not, you know. And I was doing something, and suddenly I heard clear as day, what role will you choose to play? Who will you be? And I stopped. I knew that God had spoken to me. I stopped and I thought, I hadn't thought of that in a while, Lord. Bottom line, who do I want to be? What do I want to accomplish? What kind of impact do I want to make? There's an old saying that people may not remember things you said or even did, but they remember how you made them feel. And that is very true. I want to leave a mark of people feeling loved. I want you all to know I love you. And I want you to feel it. And sometimes we play roles that were brought on us by others, by circumstances, and many times negative experiences. And difficult things make a mark on us and like an impression. And it kind of forms who we act like and who we are. I'm trying to get that reflection out of my, out of my glasses. But then I don't have much light on my face either. So I don't want to unintentionally be anything or anyone. I want to be intentional. Well, thank you, Katrina. Katrina just sent me 200 stars. Thank you. I feel the love. Mwah. Sending love back to you. Love you all. So I'm really thinking about that. What role do I want to play? What part do I want to embrace? What is it that I want to visualize and be? For instance, I certainly have no interest in coming across fearful. If you know me, if you knew me, you know I'm not fearful. I evidently have been bold since I was a child. It doesn't even occur to me to feel afraid a lot. Alyssa, thank you. Sent me 99 stars. Mwah! Thank you all. Thank you all so much. So, I always jokingly say this. I don't know where I heard it, but I like it. I refuse to ride in the back seat of the car of my life. I refuse to allow anyone else to drive or direct or run my life, even by default. Because, if I don't take hold and make choices and live with certain intentions and focus my heart and my mind in a certain direction, then I'm just going to be being blown around by something else that I've not chosen. So I refuse to be a passenger in the backseat of my own life. I want to live very intentionally, and I want what I do to count. I want to be awake and aware. And when I meet people, I want to really be there with them. When I look into people's eyes, I want them to know I see them and I'm hearing them. And it's true, we can't always do that with real intensity. And when you do it, sometimes it freaks people out, and I don't want to freak people out, but I want them to, I want them to feel loved. I want them to be seen and know that I see them, and I don't want to judge people. I just don't want to. Thank you, Beverly. Wow, you all are really blessing me tonight. She sent 100 stars. Thank you. Wowee, y'all. Thank you. And Sugar is in here. She's just joined us. She's to the right of my chair here. Yeah, I don't want to judge anyone. It's not my business. It's not my business. Well, Beverly, thank you. Beverly sent 20 stars. 20 more stars. Thank you. Back at you. Mwah. And, it's not my business to judge anyone else or to think less of anyone else. I don't know what motivated that person to do whatever they did. Now, it doesn't mean we let people walk on us or on other people. There are certain principles that carry us through these things. But it's not my business to go out and judge people because I don't know their hearts unless it's revealed to me somehow. And it's better to just accept one another, like the old salt covenant, which is basically, but for the grace of God, there go I. If I see someone in trouble or going through a bad situation, that could easily have been me. If things had been a little different, if I'd made certain different choices, if people I know had made different choices. And it's like, what was that? Look at this. Allison, thank you. Allison sent 100 stars. Wow, you all are amazing. Mwah! Love you bunches. Thank you. And sending love right back to you. So when we look at people who are doing things that are destructive perhaps to them or to others, we don't know what happened to them that caused them to come to that place. But the other thing is, it could change quickly. They could have a shift in their heart, perhaps by just encountering someone who revealed something to them through their eyes or their words or whatever. In the book, Les Miserables, or however you pronounce it, I've heard it multiple ways. I read that book. It's a big, thick book by Victor Hugo. I read it when I was a teenager, and it made an indelible mark on me. And there's a guy who stole bread because his family was hungry, and he got put in prison, and he escaped, and there was a guy who was a policeman who pursued him and wouldn't let him go, even though this man met a priest, and this priest gave him food to eat and a place to sleep when he was on the run. And there were silver candlesticks that were part of the church, and that silver charger or platter. And Pamela, thank you. Wow. Oh my goodness. I want to finish telling you this story too, but I want to read what you said. Oh, Chipper has joined us. Anyway, the man who had stolen the bread and so forth. Amanda, thank you. She sent me 99 stars. Thank you, Amanda. Mwah. He took the silver candlesticks, or wait. No, I think he took a silver plate or something in silverware. And the policeman caught him and brought him to the priest. And the priest looked at him and said, "Oh, I'm so glad you're here. I meant to give you these also. I told you to take these too. I have given them to you." And it was the candlesticks, big, heavy candlesticks that were worth a lot. And the policeman was confused because this priest had extended such grace and love to a man who had stolen from him. And that grace changed his life. And he changed from a bitter, hurt, wounded man who had been falsely accused and put through harsh things to someone who spent his whole life reaching out to others who were in hard places and standing up for those who were unjustly treated and being there for the poor and people who are going through hard times. One person can make such a difference in our lives. I could name so many people who've tried to straighten me out, correct me, and tell me everything I'm doing wrong, which it's probably very easy to see. But I've only met a couple who love me unconditionally. Really only one. That was Brother Littlefield, who was my mentor. And I tell you, I loved him so much for that. When someone loves you for who you are and doesn't want to change you, but accepts you and gives you all of their heart that they know how to give you, well, it makes you love them back. I would have done anything for that man. He was a very old man when I met him. He was 79 when I met him, and I was 27, I think. And I was with him 7 years. He mentored me, and I served him. Anything I could do to be of help. And as he got older and his strength failed, and he left this life at 87. But I would have given him all the years I had left if I could have. I found him to be so worthy, such a beautiful soul. He loved more than anyone I have ever met on this earth. He spent his whole life just loving people and being there if your house burned down and he saw it in the newspaper. He would go and find you a place to live. He would pay for it. He would furnish it. He would find clothing for you and your children that matched and fit you. He would take care of you. Nothing is too big or too small. His whole life was an expression of unconditional love, divine love. And the world was so much poorer when he left it. But I'm so much richer that I knew him. I want to be like that. One time I asked God, sitting on my front porch, and I have shared this before. I was frustrated. I was at a point in my life where I was trying to break free from some things, from the abuse and the family system I was in. And I wasn't that young. This was like in 2003, and I'm 64 now. So however old I was at that point. And I was reading the Artist Way book and doing the workbook, and it was doing wonderful things for me, breaking me free from old patterns. Oh, Beverly, thank you. Is that 200 more stars? Thank you. Thank you. Mwah. Feeling the love. And I was questioning a lot of things and standing up and saying, it's okay for me to be an artist, even though my parents had always said, you get a real job. Like, art was not a real job. Nothing I did seemed to be enough, you know. And that's not a really big deal, I guess. A lot of people go through that. But I had to stand up for myself, and I'd never done that. And so it was a really major turning point in my life. And I was sitting on my front porch with my feet propped up on the rail, and it was like on the side of a ridge, different house than I have now. And there was a rose of Sharon tree growing there, and it was blooming, these kind of fuchsia, pink, purpley colored blooms. It was summertime. And I said to the Lord, I said, Lord, you know, this group over here says this, and that group over there says this, and this bunch says this is wrong, and this bunch says that, and people are hung up on the length of your hair and the length of your skirt, and whether you wear makeup or jewelry, and you name it, they have issues. And they all think they're right. And I said, I know that none of that is that important. And I said, but what matters to you? What matters to you, Lord? And I said, I don't want to get lost out in there doing things that are not good or right, or that won't, you know, bring joy and life. And as I was sitting there, propped up, oh my Daniel, thank you, Daniel just sent me 100 stars. Mwah, thank you. I'm feeling the love, y'all. I had my feet propped up, and I said, I don't know what to do. What matters to you? And something really amazing happened, and I don't do drugs. I don't drink or anything. All of a sudden, that rose of Sharon began to sparkle in broad daylight. The leaves seemed to have shadows of leaves. It was like it was moving, and it began to glisten and glow, almost like, you know how there's a type of fire that has green and blue flames in it and gold? It was like that was all around this rose of Sharon tree. And I froze, and I just stared at it. I thought, oh God, what is happening? I knew it was a major moment. And I just stared at the tree. I blinked my eyes. I was almost afraid to move. And all of a sudden I heard, love, Marguerite. The only thing you can be perfect in is love. And that's all that matters. And that was a huge day for me. And I forget often, but then I remember. And we gotta get free from all our religious thinking and all our issues and how society has trained us, how our families have trained us. You know, it's not my business to judge. It's my business to love. Brother Littlefield, my mentor, used to say to me, Marguerite, look at people and see their needs and do whatever it takes to meet those needs. He said it won't be easy, but you'll do it because you're meant to do it. And that was what he did his whole life. And at least from the time he was about 22 years old, that was the way he lived his life. And, you know, I saw Brother Littlefield take ice cream to someone who worked at the dry cleaners because they seemed to be burdened, or, you know, something was going on with them, and he went and got them an ice cream sundae and gave it to them. And he just felt that was the thing to do. You know, that person never forgot that. He did all kinds of things. There was nothing too small or too big. He would do whatever was on his heart. Thank you, Daniel, sending me 20 stars. Thank you. And you know, we can all love. We don't have to be good looking or charming or brilliant or highly educated or from a really highfalutin family, whatever. We don't need to be any of that to love people. We can do that. We can do this and make a huge impact in people's lives and change lives just by kindness and love and thoughtfulness in whatever way it's expressed. Whether it's a touch on the shoulder or a gentle, kind word, or just spending time with someone when they're going through a hard time, or a gift, or doing acts of service. You know, maybe someone has not been well and their yard needs mowed. Whatever it is, like Brother Littlefield said to me, look at people and see their needs and do whatever it takes to meet those needs. In other words, love them. Love them, whatever that looks like. And it's within all of our reach. We can all do something. Allison, oh my, you're gonna make me cry. Seriously. She says, I adore your giant heart. Thank you. And she's sending me 50 stars. Thank you. You don't realize what you just said, Allison. I'm going to share it with you all. My heart is wide open tonight. I'm just going to go ahead and pour it out. There's one thing that the Lord calls me. And you know, I've seen him face to face. I've been to heaven. I've seen the Lord Jesus, the Lord Yeshua. It's a big love affair between he and I. You've never, ever, you will never meet anyone who is as loving as he is. And he's crazy about all of us. It's not religion. This is an amazing love affair relationship. I can't help myself. And he called me his great heart. That's the only real name he has ever given me, his great heart. And with it, like often when the Lord says something to you, you hear certain words, but you might hear other words at the same time, and along with it, you get concepts and images and descriptions. And it can all happen like that in a flash. And he showed me that I had a capacity for love, and I felt things very deeply, Uh-oh, I see the stuttering. I saw the screen jump right there. Evidently, he created this in me, and I cooperated with him. And for you to say you say, I adore your giant heart, you brought back to my mind something that my beloved has said to me. Thank you, Alice. Wow. Oh, Beverly sent 50 stars now. Oh my goodness, you all are just blessing me like crazy. Daniel, thank you. He's got the cartoon of him with the hearts coming out and the hands open. And I feel the love from you all, you know? Fawn Buzzkirk has written, he told me to get out of my wheelchair. I would need my legs, and I did. Oh my goodness, I think you need to tell us a little more about that. Please write more if you don't mind. Allison says, I'm crying with you. Thank you. These are sweet tears. Those are all right, you know. When tears come to your heart and come out your eyes, it makes you more alive. Another thing Brother Littlefield used to say, and I run his name together, it's Brother Littlefield. He used to say, don't let hard times make you bitter. Let them make you better. And he was from Maine, way up northeast, and he was an old man, came from a part of the countryside that had a drawl instead of a more, his niece had more of almost a kind of harsh accent, but his was a drawl. And this was the way he said it, and he had a really deep, smooth, rumbly voice. I can't do that, but he would say, Dia, don't let hard times make you bitter. Let them make you better. He was priceless. I saw people come, wrap their arms around him, grown men, and cry like a baby and talk about the time they were in a horrible place and he came to them. Brother Littlefield was also led by the Holy Spirit. He would show up places totally led supernaturally. One man told me, he was an electrician later in his life when I knew him. His name was Ken. And he told me when he met Brother Littlefield, he and his wife and family had moved to this town, which was Brother Littlefield's little town. And they just came here. They didn't really know anyone. He didn't have a job yet. And they were in a difficult place. And they were sitting at home in their little house that they were renting. And the children were crying because they were so hungry. And he couldn't do anything to help them because he didn't have any money yet. I think he had gotten a job, but he had not been paid yet. And there came a knock at their door at like 9:30 at night. And they thought, well, who could that be? And they opened it, and there stood this man who was dressed like a Philadelphia lawyer. He was always wearing a suit, often wearing a vest, and his hair was always just combed very neatly. He was very dignified, very distinguished, but very, very warm and kind. And they opened the door and saw this man standing there with bags of groceries in his arms. And he said to them, "May I come in?" And they let him in. And he smiled at them. He said, "The Lord told me you could use these things." And he sat down with them, and they made themselves something to eat. And he talked with them a little while they ate, gave them his name and phone number, and then wished them a good night and left. They didn't know where he came from. How did he know to do that? That was Brother Littlefield. He was amazingly led by the Spirit. And it was always love. It was always love. I could tell you story after story after story. Love is the most important thing. I don't mean necessarily ooshy-gooshy, emotional, syrupy love. I mean unconditional, divine love, where you look at that person and you care about them, and you listen with your heart, and you look to see how you can answer their heart. Sometimes it's just saying hi. Sometimes it's a compliment. Sometimes it's an ice cream. Sometimes it's a pair of shoes in Brother Littlefield's case. He took high heel shoes to a woman. And she was locked up in her house, and her heart had been broken by a man. And Gladys, Brother Littlefield's wife, was used to this sort of thing. She had a brand new pair of shoes that disappeared out of their closet that day. And that just fit this woman perfectly. He provided Christmas. The first year I met him, he had a little Christmas, and we say little. He had a Christmas program where people would come to a local school gymnasium and sit in the bleachers. And there would be toys and gifts and you name it that had been donated from all over, from people, because he had a radio program and people knew about him, and they knew that if they helped him, he would help someone with it. That particular Christmas morning, there were over 2,000 children in the risers. Had some of their parents with them, and some had just been dropped off. And each child would be taken down to the platform. They had several stations. And the people who were manning the little chair and table would ask them what they wanted for Christmas. And then there were runners who would go out to the tables lined up and get whatever the child wanted, or the closest thing to it. Each child would get 8 gifts. I watched nurses at the hospital when Brother Littlefield had a horrible flu that hit him and dehydrated him and had to be taken to the hospital. And I came in his hospital room, and there were like 5 nurses around his bed crying. And he was holding their hands and talking to them kindly as he did. And one of them said, "Oh, Brother Littlefield, when I was a child, we were really poor. We lived way out in the country. And I knew because of our situation, I wasn't going to get anything for Christmas. And I heard your radio program, and I wrote in and I asked for a doll. I had never had one." She said, "We were terribly poor. And I prayed that you would answer my letter." And she said, "That night you had not come. We had not heard from you." And she said it was late when car lights came into the driveway. And she ran outside, and it was Brother Littlefield. And he said, "It's late, dear. Merry Christmas. I couldn't forget you." And he gave her the doll and hugged her and hugged her parents and left and went home and exhaustedly fell into the bed. And she said, "You don't know what it meant to me." And she was crying. She said, "I still have that doll." You don't know what your kindness may do to someone. We don't know what that kindness may do. It might be the last straw where someone was ready to take their life, but you walked in and just said something kind. Love is so important. There's nothing like it, and all of us can love. Whatever it is we can do, whether a word or a deed or a touch, or spending time with someone, or helping some way, all of us can love. Well, I didn't mean to stay so long. I didn't mean to take up so much time, but I know it was the right thing, and I felt. Some people might call it the anointing, like a quickening, a knowing, an energy, a focus. That no, even though I'm tired right now, I feel energized. And I felt like my words are filled with weight and value. And I can feel you all out there in your love. I can feel this between us. It's priceless. It's amazing. Some of you are no doubt from around the other side of the world. Thank you, Fawn. Thank you. Wow. You all mean a lot to me. And I feel your love, and I feel you out there. When we do the heart brain coherence meditation, I can feel as if I don't know how to describe it. Heart, intimate connection to you. And it's priceless. You all are beautiful people. Daniel says, I'm in the United Kingdom. Wow. And you have touched me tonight, Daniel. Look at you all. Look at the beauty coming out of your hearts. I feel you too, yes. Y'all, know how important you are. Realize and remember who you are. You have so much power. You have so much power to lift somebody up, to, even if it's just a glance or a moment or a kind word, can make all the difference in the world. And I know you do. The way you talk to one another. We have the kindest people on the whole social media scene. You all are so good and caring for one another. And only now and then do we get somebody who wanders on and doesn't understand where they are and starts saying things that belong to some other social media page. But we're a family. We're a tribe. We are one, and we know it. I love you. I need to go and let you all do whatever you need to do, but this has been priceless to me. The connection I feel and sense between all of us, it's priceless. It's rich. It's sweet. And moments like this make life worth living. So thank you. Thank you. Love you much. If it's time for you to go to bed, I hope you sleep beautifully and well and have sweet dreams. And if you're in morning time, I hope your day begins with a beautiful, sweet taste in your mouth and in your soul, and that you walk out into this world and shine. Love, love, love.